Hallo liebe Leute und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge von Divinity Original Sin. In der letzten Folge, da haben wir den Boreas gekillt und haben den Elementarstab quasi seine Elementare entledigt und jetzt befreien wir endlich mal die weiße Hexe. Und dazu teleportieren wir uns ein Stück. Mit dabei ist auch wieder der Subjump heute.
Hi ho.
Ja und ich, das hört man ja. So, jetzt sind wir im Gefängnis.
Ach, du bist das. Oh. Ich dachte, das wäre jemand anderes. Wie? Du bist im Gefängnis?
Ja.
Ich aber nicht.
Ich geh auch nicht über los und zieh keine 4000 Mark ein.
Ich dachte, du ziehst mich ja mit. Dann können wir,
Da kann ich jetzt direkt hinlaufen. Ich glaube, da war nichts zwischendurch mehr.
Da liegen Pfeile und irgendwelche nutzlosen Kram. Ne, da sollte, glaube ich, nichts mehr gewesen sein. Da ist gar keiner drin.
Vorgehen, damit du Schnick, Schnack, Schnuck oder sowas machen kannst.
Da ist da jemand drin. Oh, dieser Aru, Alter, ich hasse ihn. Stirb, Aru. Stirb einfach. Ja.
Ach, das kennen wir ja.
Gute Neuigkeiten, König Sur, ein mächtiges Feuerelementar, hat sich bereit erklärt, bei der Befreiung von Ikara zu helfen. Aha. Ihr habt das Vertrauen? Nee. Cool. Ja, was erwartest du? Sie ist eingefroren.
Ja.
Du hast doch hier diesen Dings. Entweder du gibst sie mir oder du aktivierst sie. Den Elementarstab? Nein, diese Rune, die er dir gegeben hat.
Oh. Und wenn ich jetzt anklicke, sieht nichts. Okay.
Musst du wahrscheinlich aus deinem Inventar heraus aktivieren.
Feuerrune benutzen. Da ist er. Jetzt mit dem Puzzle.
Ist das?
Mit wem redest du? Achso, weiß mit dem schon.
Ja.
Even our mad Boreas wouldn't have wasted such precious ice on a petty criminal. Whatever she did to find herself here.
Ich glaube, die war zu nett.
Ja, das kann sein.
And I would be remiss not to honor your request. Shield your eyes.
Das wird spannend.
To melt
Muss ich eine gleichsam seltene Flamme beschwören? Ah ja. Dann mach mal.
Ja.
Thumbnail. Sie lebt wieder. Ah, jetzt redet sie mit dir? Ach, sie ist die Schwester.
You're all right?
Ja.
The ice, King Boreas, and your sister.
Aru, geh nach Hause.
Frigid hell.
Keiner will dich sehen und reden hören.
Yet not even a frigid hell like this could induce you to put on a show, could it, Ahu? My old friend, surely I have you to thank for my salvation.
Nein.
Genau.
That honor goes to a pair of talented source hunters, actually. If not for their efforts, I'd be quite uselessly prowling around your prisons.
Then perhaps I ought to address my savior directly. Source Hunter, is that the masquerade? Well, what a motley crew we are. Isn't there somewhere a bit warmer we might discuss matters?
Meint ihr mit Maskerade? Wir sind Mitglieder des Ordens der Quellenjäger.
Yes, of course, of course. Do pardon me. I didn't mean to imply you were very clearly eternal beings in the guise of minor mortals. Not at all. Please, let's do carry on.
Okay, wir fragen uns, ob sie weiße Hexe ist, nur um sicher zu gehen.
Oh, yes, I suppose I am. But I do prefer my given name. Ikara, that is. Charm.
Also mal, sie ist eine Weiße, ja? Sie hat sogar weiße Haare und teils weiße Kleidung. Also ich glaube, eine weißere Hexe gibt's nicht.
So, wieso seid ihr denn hier eingesperrt?
For my freedom, I owe you every imaginable thanks. My soul had withered in this prison, and I might not have survived much longer without your... Now, about the culprits. My corrupted sister and the mad Winter King. When I realized exactly where, and to whom Leandra was consigning me, I was certain I'd never enjoy the sun's warmth again. But neither she nor I anticipated the Source Hunter. That was her mistake, and my blessing. I never would have imagined Leandra capable of dealing with the likes of Boreas. but she has changed into someone I hardly recognize anymore.
Müssen Sie sich auch mit unserer ursprünglichen Story konfrontieren. Ihr werdet beschuldigt, das Ratsmitglied von Jake ermordet zu
I take
haben.
no pleasure in the memory of that night. The thought of hurting anyone or anything is abhorrent to me. But in this
Das
case,
war sie
I
wirklich,
judged
müssen wir
it
es festnehmen.
If
Tötet
you've come
wie sie.
this far, I trust you've learned that the councillor was far from a humble civil servant. This doesn't excuse my behavior, but perhaps it can help to explain it.
Was ist in der Nacht
It's a
jetzt
sordid
passiert?
story, to be perfectly frank. Two sisters, a philanderous, treacherous wizard, death and mayhem. Are you sure you're interested in such things?
Na klar.
The sparkle in your eye
Tod und Zerstörung, das ist genau unser Ding.
Source Hunter. Now I know that it is your duty to get to the heart of this. And in truth, the events of that night were but one part of a larger and much darker matter. A matter now that terrible night.
Okay.
One night, as I slept, I had a sudden revelation.
Ein Auge.
No dream, but a vision. My sister Leandra and my lover Zandalor. I didn't understand, but I recognized their location. Syceel's King Crab Inn.
Mord aus Eifersucht.
Through their window, but inside, everything was wrong. Leandra had fled, and Councillor Jake stood over the wizard, a knife in his hand and hate in his eyes. As I watched, he drove the dagger deep into Zandalor's heart, and I was too late to stop him. In that moment, I broke. I saw before me not a man, not even a beast, but evil incarnate. And I used Source to slay him. On the floor lay Zandalor. In my hands, I held Jake's life force. I had sworn never to use Source, but I couldn't walk away. And so I did the unthinkable. I used the Councillor's life to save Zandalor's.
Ist ja nur gerecht.
He was
Ja, das
alive,
stimmt.
but only just. Betrayal. Murder. Source. We were all of us guilty now.
Anscheinend hat sie was drauf.
Ja.
Das Gespräch zu Ende? Oder redest du noch?
Nein, es geht noch.
Weil bei mir wird nichts mehr. Achso, jetzt so.
My
Erzähl mal mehr über
own little
Leandra.
sister, if you can imagine it. She was always the more ambitious, the more exacting of us. And she had no fear of the darkness that so often accompanies Source. Her collusion with King Boreas in imprisoning me here confirms my worst fears. She is planning something far greater than I could have anticipated. For this reason, and with a heavy heart, I must ask you, Source Hunter, to find out how far exactly Leandra has become entwined in the dark arts. I hate to extend my own invitation, Source Hunter, but I believe I ought to accompany you to Zigzax's hideout. Presumptuous, yes, but I'd recognize the imp's essence just
Also echt
about
stinken.
anywhere. Both
Ja.
he and you must
Hab
learn
selbst ich
more
schon
about
gemerkt,
the
dass er stinkt.
darkness that has extended itself into our dearest Rivalon. And I believe I know where we must begin. Ah, but unless that's a bear flailing through the threads of time, I do believe Master Zigzax is on his way. Make way, Source Hunter, landing in 3, 2...
1, go!
Hä? Wo kommt denn jetzt her?
Ja.
Dieser nervige Imp.
Much to discuss. Come one and all to the end of time. A spot of something warm and the soft glow of the tapestry ought to do us all a bit of good, Now, if we're done playing hide and seek, let's not waste a jot more time. Oh, I just can't wait to pick your every synapse.
After you, Master Zigzax.
Okay.
Ach, Mann. Also die rennen da alle rein, aber und wir wieder nicht. Wie müssen wir laufen aus?
Und wir müssen das miteinander reden.
Ja, wir haben den Mord gelöst und die Schuldige gefasst, doch fühlt sich dieser Fall alles andere als abgeschlossen an.
In diesem Verbrechen steckt mehr als einfache Tatsache. Schließlich macht es einen Unterschied, ob man einen Mörder ermordet oder einen Unschuldigen.
There's more to this crime than simple fact.
Ja, das stimmt.
Killing a killer is hardly the same as killing an innocent after all.
Wir müssen wohl mehr erfahren, bevor wir Ikaras wahre Schuld in dieser Angelegenheit beurteilen können. Zum Glück scheint sie mehr als willig zu sein, uns mehr über diese ganze dunkle Affäre zu erzählen.
We'll have to learn more before we can assess Ikara's true guilt in this matter. Fortunately, she seems quite eager to tell us more about this entire dark affair.
Romantisch? Ach Gott. Ich bin doch nicht romantisch. Jetzt habe ich wegen die romantische. Ich bin doch pragmatisch. Aber ich bin zum Glück immer noch pragmatisch, also ist alles in Ordnung. Romantisch, so ein Blödsinn. Das heißt, jetzt müssen wir los und wir nochmal mit den Leuten reden.
Nicht.
Jetzt sitzen sie hier alle zu viert. Ja, war ja klar.
I wonder, do you know more about the void? What it is? What lies in the heart?
I see
Wollen wir
Master
mit
Six
Six
Axis
oder
upgraded
mit wem
from
redest
its
du?
shabby little
Mit
hut to the edge of
Six
the
Axis.
hour.
Nee,
From the very
nee, mit Ikara.
dimension to the,
Oh.
Space-time Weaver Hunter Imp One. What do you call this place again?
Mit wem redest du jetzt? Gar niemanden?
Genau.
Okay,
Ich höre dir
das
zu.
ist unsere Heimstätte am Ende der Zeit.
Ha! Is that so? It seems I have my share to learn about the magical world yet. The end of time. Well, suddenly you're associated. Well, I must say, it's no small relief to find myself in a safe haven among such allies.
Ja, fangen wir von vorne an. Was genau hat eure Schwester mit den schrecklichen Vorfällen in Rivellon zu tun?
I believe the answer to that begins centuries ago, when your order was still cutting down so-called dark magicians by the... Ours was a family of born sorcerers, you see. It was in our blood to interact with Source. But our parents were determined to curb the power within us. Still, their meekness wouldn't save them from the Source Hunters.
Okay, dann ist es also wahr, ihr seid eine Quellenmagierin.
I am. But there is more to our kind than they teach at your academy. Source isn't only blood and madness. It's like lightning. An exquisite, we sorcerers are like metal steeples. Source is drawn to us and it flows through us. But what so many fail to understand is that Source can be controlled. The power-drunk through history have abused it, and all the world's sorcerers have borne terrible consequences.
Ja, welche Konsequenzen?
Tell
Ne?
me, Source Hunter, in all your hours studying the arcane arts, did your great masters ever suggest that perhaps not all sorcerers were evil?
Was? Es soll Quellmagier geben, die gut sind?
Tja,
Das glaube ich ja nicht.
Did you ever hear, even once, that some of us were weak and gentle, that we could be simple forest folk healing the sick and frozen each winter?
Nee.
No. I doubt also that they'd mention that one day this hunt of yours would birth a broken soul powerful enough to inch all of Rivellon toward oblivion.
Nee, sowas haben die nie gesagt. Ihr wollt uns Quellenjäger für Leandras Taten verantwortlich machen? Ach, immer die Schuld auf andere schieben, ja klar.
Natürlich.
No. No, that would be going too far and eschewing my own responsibility. I believe Leandra's long fall down did begin at the hands of some of your own order, but it was I who sparked all of this.
Was? Meint ihr etwa, dass jemand von unserem eigenen Orden eure Eltern umgebracht hat?
They came on a quiet
Welche Behauptung?
My
Ja,
mother was wild
Unsinn.
and frightened, commanded
Alles
me to
Verleugnung
hide
hier.
myself and Leandra outside, among the trees. Even at that young age, we knew not to question her.
So gehört sie so für Kinder.
We climbed
Die müssen
high
gehorchen, wenn man
into the
dem was
branches of
sagt.
a nearby tree. And before we could look away, our parents were cut down without ceremony before our door.
Oh, das ist fies.
The Source Hunters sauntered away, wiping their blades with pride. 2 more sorcerers dead, a job well done.
Effektiv, pragmatisch, würde ich sagen. Was wurde aus Leandra und euch?
From that moment on, everything was different. As we trembled in that tree, our fear and our desperation were so potent that the magic within us began to weave together. Our souls became... We would survive, thrive even, within those woods, never speaking to outsiders. Our soul forge meant that if one of us were to die, the other would instantly perish too.
Das heißt, wenn wir jetzt Ikara einfach töten, dann wäre das Problem eigentlich gelöst, oder?
Das habe ich auch gerade gedacht.
Leandra's capacity was enormous. Source didn't frighten her, and she delved into that dark well with terrible regularity. I did my best to guide her, but she fast outgrew my admonitions.
Ja, gut. Sagt mir, was zwischen euch, Leandra und dem Zauberer geschehen ist.
My sister and I were mired in a solitary existence. Witches among the trees when Zandalore came. Leandra especially couldn't leave him be. He was a feast of information, and she wouldn't rest until she'd absorbed every bit of knowledge he offered.
Ja, so
Their
immer so.
days were spent on charms, hexes, and the like. At night, Leandra would wander off to practice what she'd learned, and Zandalore and I would settle into our quiet. We were a content trio, the 3 of us, but base impulse would undo us.
Die inneren Triebe. Aha. Sind also Lesben, wahrscheinlich.
As you know,
Wahrscheinlich.
Und Inzucht.
Leandra and I were soul forged. This offered us a window into one another's souls. I knew Leandra had developed feelings for Zandalore, and she knew I had too. But it was me to whom he confessed his love. Those quiet evenings together had captured his heart, as they had mine.
Das heißt, wenn Ikara quasi mit dem Zandalore Sex gehabt hat, dann hat es Leandra gemerkt.
Wahrscheinlich.
Das ist so irgendwie fies.
Her heart broke the moment we announced our new attachment, and I felt the pain of it as sharply as a knife. She fled, without a word, and I didn't see her for 2 terrible years. My connection to her, our soul forge, grew weaker. It was as though some third entity, a parasite, were atop our souls, sucking the strength from it day by day.
Und was kommt jetzt? Wie halten wir denn Leandra
A
jetzt auf?
single order of business first and foremost. Leandra is gathering an army, and I fear we'll have to get through it if we wish to find her.
Mehr Erfahrungspunkte, das ist
But
gut.
first, we must learn more about Leandra's plans. How many of these so-called immaculates does she have? Your journey must begin in the Lacula mines, where she has been accumulating materials and manpower for a purpose as yet unknown. The way will be dangerous. Her allies are growing more powerful and numerous by the minute. But we must discover exactly what Leandra is planning and why.
Okay, und wie komme ich jetzt
A
rein?
soul forge comes with its own benefits, Source Hunter. Though our connection has weakened, I still see the occasional vision of Leandra's doings. One vision. I had thought it was only a nightmare, but now I see it was something much worse. Leandra is collecting
Ich hätte wohl eine höhere
materials.
Lehrmeisterstufe als wir.
I cannot
Wahrscheinlich.
and is her frustrations are rivaled only by her mirth. I can see she's growing closer and closer to achieving something dire. You must make your way deep into the mines to see exactly what she's planning.
Gibt es denn keine Möglichkeit, sie zu
I
lösen?
believe that our soul forge has been damaged. By what? I can only guess. The fraying of the bond between us has left Leandra adrift.
Also ich meinte jetzt nicht diese seelische Erlösung, ich meinte jetzt so die weltliche Erlösung. So mit Messer in die Brust.
Da dachte ich auch.
My hand out of this abyss. If our soul forge is repaired, I am certain she'll cease
Wie Gelabere. Sprechen wir über die Minen. Wer Weg bestimmt, ja,
but you must
eingeladen.
get
Ja.
inside. I fear my sister is doing something dreadful so far from the light of day.
Okay, ich bin weg. Gut, die Folge hat heute Überlänge. Wir haben heute sehr viel gequatscht. Ja?
That's enough of that
Absolut.
now.
Eine große Menge an Gesprächsstoffen und ja, du kannst erstmal mit diesem scheiß Aru labern. Ich beende die Folge an der Stelle und hoffe, euch hat's gefallen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Cheerio.
Tschüss.